Over 3 decades ago, Tiger Woods made history at the Biltmore. Fast forward to January 2026, and his son Charlie returned to the very same course, determined to create his own story. But this wasn't just a nostalgic visit. It was a punishing 72-hole battle against some of the world's best young golfers. From a near disaster off the tee to a remarkable streak of 14 pars that left fans buzzing, Charlie's T19 finish has become the highlight of the new season. Subscribe to Golf Wave for instant updates on the rising stars of tomorrow. Let's break down every intense round at Coral Gables. The 62nd Junior Orange Bowl International Championship isn't just another junior tournament. It's a historic proving ground at the Biltmore Golf Course in Florida. Many future stars have made their mark here, and the Woods name is already immortalized thanks to Tiger's 1991 triumph. When Charlie stepped onto first tee on Saturday, January 3rd, the weight of that legacy was undeniable. Entering as one of the most talked-about players in a 48-man international field and ranked 20th in AJGA, Charlie quickly realized that Biltmore doesn't care about fame. It only respects precise ball striking. The atmosphere was electric. Tiger Woods and Alan Nordreen walked the fairways in support of their son, a rare and emotional full-circle moment for family. Also watching was PGA Pro Matt Cuchar, following his son Cameron, adding to the high-stakes legacy feel of the event. Charlie began with a clear game plan, attacked the par fives. He birdied the first hole, a feat he astonishingly repeated every day of the tournament. But the course wasn't going to give anything easily. A bogey on the third and dropped shots on the seventh, and 8 saw him turn at 1 over par. Then came the moment that could have ended his week. On the par for 11th, Charlie's drive landed in the rough, resting against a massive hidden tree root. True to Woods' tradition, he went for a recovery shot instead of playing it safe. The ball ricocheted off the root at lightning speed, narrowly missing his face. The crowd gasped as Charlie instinctively dropped his club and shielded himself. Instead of faltering, Charlie regained composure, executed an incredible par save, and carried on. Tiger Woods, watching nearby, could only shake his head and laugh in admiration, telling his son, "Hell of a shot," as they joked on the walk to the next tee. Charlie closed the first round at 2 over par 73, T21, 11 shots behind Italy's Giovanni Bainaghi. But more importantly, he proved he had the mental toughness to turn a near disaster into a highlight moment. For Charlie, the middle rounds of the 4-day championship became a test of endurance, both mental and physical. After the viral tree root incident, his challenge was simple yet grueling. Stay consistent. In elite junior golf, hitting fairways, finding greens, and 2-putting pars, the so-called boring golf, is what ultimately wins tournaments. As Charlie stepped onto the tee for Sunday's second round, his goal was simple: stabilize the score and prove that his opening 73 was a solid start, not a lucky break. Round 2 turned into a masterclass in smart, controlled golf. With Florida's wind swirling through the iconic palms of the Biltmore, Charlie carded a gritty 72, 1 over par. While other competitors made aggressive moves, he stayed disciplined, navigating the front 9 with patience, accepting 2 early bogeys without letting frustration take over. The 2026 version of Charlie Woods had clearly matured. He knows that a bogey is manageable, but a double bogey can derail a round. Relying on his improved driving accuracy, he kept his ball in play, avoiding the thick rough that caused problems on Saturday. Tiger Woods was ever present in the gallery, offering quiet approval after a perfectly struck 7-iron to the 15th green. This round kept Charlie inside the top 25, setting up a strong Monday push. Round 3 was when Charlie reminded everyone why he is ranked 20th in AJGA. On Monday, he came alive in Coral Gables, signing for an even par 71. The score alone doesn't capture the fireworks on the back 9. After a steady start, Charlie caught fire, carding 5 birdies over 9 holes. His putter, quiet over the first 2 rounds, suddenly clicked. A clutch 20-foot putt on the par. 410 drew a roar from the crowd reminiscent of Tiger Mania. Statistically, this round was remarkable. Charlie's ball speed consistently exceeded 165 miles per hour, rivaling top PGA Tour players, and placing him among the top 1% of the 2027 recruiting class. Even more impressive was his precision on the challenging Bermuda greens, leaving fellow competitors stunned. The 71 propelled him to 3 over par after 3 rounds, moving him into the top 20 and positioning him to challenge the best juniors globally. As he walked toward the scoring tent, momentum was firmly on his side. He had survived the grueling middle rounds and proved that when he finds his rhythm, no junior golfer can ignore his name on the leaderboard. Tuesday, January 6th, the final round of the 62nd Junior Orange Bowl International, was where Charlie truly distinguished himself. While many young players might have cracked under the pressure of a global field and the weight of a famous name, Charlie displayed professional-level grit that captivated spectators at the Biltmore. Starting the day at 3 over par, he knew a strong finish was possible, but he also knew the course's narrow corridors and tricky Bermuda greens would punish even a small lapse in focus. The story of this round isn't just on the scorecard. It's the mental battle of a 16-year-old phenom rising to the occasion. The final round began just as Charlie Woods had started the previous days, dominating the first hole. For the fourth day in a row, he birdied the par 5 opener, an extraordinary streak in a major international tournament that sent a clear signal. Charlie was here to compete. But high-stakes golf rarely gives an easy start. Between holes 2 and 4, he dropped 2 bogeys, pushing his total to 5 over par, and threatening to slip out of the top 25. This is when the 2026 Charlie showed his maturity. Rather than chasing risky shots, he adopted a defensive, steady approach. Following that early stumble, he executed an incredible stretch of 14 consecutive pars. 14 holes under immense pressure, with Tiger Woods and Alan Nordreen watching, without a single misstep. While other juniors faltered with doubles and triples, Charlie became a par machine. This streak was a masterclass in focus and risk management, proving he inherited his father's legendary composure. Charlie finished the round at 1 over par 72, bringing his 4-day total to 288 for over par, and securing a T19 finish among 48 of the world's top junior golfers. Colombia's Tomas Restrepo won with a dominating 14 under par, but Charlie's result was a victory in its own right, solidifying his AJGA top 20 ranking and keeping him in the elite bracket for the 2026 Grand Slam junior events. The significance of this performance cannot be overstated. Tiger Woods won the same event 35 years ago, and while Charlie didn't lift the trophy, he proved he has a professional-level floor. Most juniors can shoot a 66, but few can grind out a 72 when not at their best. His final round was the embodiment of resilience. The ball striking wasn't perfect, the putter less hot than during Monday's 5-birdie surge, but he refused to quit. As he walked off the 18th green, Tiger's expression said it all. Pride, not in the trophy, but in the determination. The 2026 Junior Orange Bowl wasn't just about the scoreboard. It was a high-stakes encounter between two golfing legacies. While media attention focused on Charlie, Cameron Cuchar, son of 9-time PGA Tour winner and Olympic bronze medalist Matt Cuchar, quietly delivered a clinical performance just a few groups away. This legacy matchup added a psychological layer rarely seen in junior golf, making the tournament a true proving ground for the next generation. Having both Tiger Woods and Matt Cuchar walking the fairways in Coral Gables, watching their sons compete, felt like a glimpse into the future of the PGA Tour. Cameron Cuchar arrived at the Biltmore with huge momentum. Just weeks earlier, in December 2025, he and his father had dominated the PNC Championship, finishing a record-breaking 33 under par to claim the title. Cameron had already shown he could thrive under bright lights and the pressure of a televised stage. At the Junior Orange Bowl, the inevitable comparison between Charlie and Cameron became a central storyline. Charlie relies on raw power, with ball speeds exceeding 165 miles per hour in an aggressive wood-like style, while Cameron's game mirrors his father's, calm, rhythmic, and extremely steady. Over 4 days at the Biltmore, their performances highlighted just how closely matched they are. After the first 2 rounds, both players sat 3 over par, but the ways they got there were very different. Cameron struggled early with 77, but bounced back with an impressive 68 on Sunday. Charlie, on the other hand, stayed consistent with 73 and 72. This set up a thrilling final day showdown between the two heirs of golf's next generation. Cameron ultimately edged Charlie, finishing T15 at 2 over par 286, with Charlie just 2 strokes behind at T19, for over 288. The difference came down to scoring floor. While Charlie dazzled with bursts of 5 birdies in round 3, he also suffered big number mistakes, including a triple bogey. Cameron, meanwhile, maintained steady play after his early stumble, demonstrating the reliability of an experienced competitor. For college recruiters, the contrast was fascinating. Cameron, already committed to Texas Christian University's 2026 class, showed consistency, while Charlie demonstrated the explosive potential of a future superstar still refining his game. This rivalry has quickly become the defining narrative of the 2026 to 2027 junior classes. Both are now AJGA first-team All-Americans, and their paths will continue to cross at every major junior invitational this season. The Junior Orange Bowl proved that while the Woods name carries tremendous weight, the Cuchar name is right there, stride for stride. As Charlie hones his short game under Tiger's watchful eye, he knows that Cameron and others, including world-class talent like Miles Russell, are the benchmarks he must surpass. The Biltmore was just one chapter in what promises to be a decade-long rivalry, potentially extending all the way to PGA Tour Sundays. Looking ahead to the rest of 2026, Charlie's T19 finish was more than a score. It was a strategic win for his ranking and reputation. In elite junior golf, ranking is currency. Securing a top 20 finish in such a strong international field preserved Charlie's AJGA Rank 20, guaranteeing invitations to major spring and summer events, including the junior players at Sawgrass, the U.S. Junior Amateur, and the Junior PGA Championship. For Charlie, the Biltmore served as the perfect warm-up for the battles ahead. But the biggest challenge looming over his 2026 season isn't his father's legacy. It's the clinical dominance of Miles Russell. While Charlie fights to crack the top 15, Miles Russell sits comfortably as the undisputed world number 1. Fresh off a historic T2 finish against elite college amateurs at the Jones Cup, The Woods versus Russell storyline is shaping up to be the defining narrative of the 2026 season for Neon Golf. For Charlie to truly challenge Miles, he must turn his resilience into victories. His T19 finish at the Biltmore proved he has a floor to survive elite competition, but now he needs to find a ceiling to dominate it. Analysts are already eyeing the Junior Players' Championship later this year as a potential head-to-head clash between Charlie's explosive power and Russell's tactical precision. Off the course, Charlie is navigating one of the most intense pressures of his young life: college recruitment. As a high school junior, he's at the center of a tug-of-war that could shape the future of NCAA golf. Rumors linking him to Stanford and Florida State University, FSU, have reached a fever pitch. Stanford offers a legacy path, following in Tiger's footsteps and joining his sister Samantha. FSU, led by Coach Trey Jones, presents a super team opportunity, with Miles Russell already verbally committed. Charlie joining FSU could create the most dominant roster in collegiate golf history. Tiger's early 2026 meetings with FSU staff suggest this isn't just rumor. It's a calculated move to place Charlie in the best environment to prepare for the PGA Tour. The verdict for early 2026 is clear. Charlie Woods has officially transitioned from a legacy prospect to a first-team AJGA All-American. His performance at the Junior Orange Bowl, the grit after the Root incident, the 14-par streak, and his handling of media attention prove he's ready for the professional spotlight. He's taller, stronger, faster, with ball speeds touching 170 miles per hour. The road to number one still runs through Miles Russell, but Charlie has already shown the defining trait of a champion. He refuses to fold. As he looks ahead to the major junior championships this spring, the message is unmistakable. The Woods charge isn't coming. It's already here.